I don't even know if this is, if it's, am I live now? I don't even know if I'm live now. Am I live? Am I live? Okay. Hi guys. I just thought I'd come on. It's, as we know, one of the biggest holidays of the year for a lot of people. And we spend it getting together. But there's also a lot of people out there that have no one, you know, and this is a very difficult time of year for them. Not just the fact that, you know, we've got a pandemic going on. There's a lot of places that are suffering at the minute. Down south especially, they've been having a lot of floods, especially around Christmas, and that's really hard. You know, they're already suffering. There's a lot of families around the country and around the world that are suffering, that are working hard all year round to make one day special, you know, and that's hard for them. But what I also want to say is, you know, from today, there's going to be a lot of people also who are now going to start worrying today about the debt that they've got themselves into, you know, about just doing that for one day. And that's why, you know, I haven't ever really supported the religious side of Christmas, because I just think it's put so much pressure on so many people, and it makes people feel as if they're not good enough, if they can't do enough. You know, it's done for the wrong reasons now. It's very commercialised. And there's a lot of people suffering, and I just think that's a lot more important, especially at this time of year. So I purposely didn't say Merry Christmas to anybody this year. I you know, literally got, Shani, you might want to put your head down or whatever if you don't want people to see. Literally got a tree in my corner of my room, and that's what we've done for Christmas this year. You know, it's always been more about spending time with people that I love and care about. Last year, I was very lucky. I made a Christmas for us all before Christmas, you know. So I got to spend time with people there. It doesn't seem right to celebrate it this year. You know, a lot of people have lost people, not just through this pandemic, but, you know, just through life itself, and that's hard, you know, and I just want to say that, you know, my heart goes out to you, whoever's going through that. I have a few very close people that I you know, I don't see now as often, but they mean the world to me, and seeing them going through a lot at the minute. And I just want to let them know as well, if you need anybody, I'm here, you know. But I'm planning on doing more lives in the new year. So from the beginning of January, there's going to be a lot more going on with the site and everything else. I sort of left it, you know, but I've put a few cryptic things out there prior to this, you know, that like how we made it, things like that. That's what I was going to come on here to speak about tonight, but I just feel at the minute there's a lot of people going through a lot of things, and I'd rather say that, you know, no matter where you are, no matter how much you're going through, pick up the phone, speak to somebody. There's always somebody there, you know. And if I've got anything to do with it next year, I'll be building some platforms where we can bring a lot more people online. Excuse that, that's my nephew with the dog. But you know, if I've got anything to do with it next year, I'll be bringing out a lot more platforms where we can bring therapists online, counsellors online. I know Samaritans, I think, are going to go online. But, you know, get their number, give them a call. If I'm ever, even if I'm not online, give me a message. If you need to talk, I'll be there. You know, I just wanted to reach out and say, I'm here if you need me. We're going to move on from this year, and it's been a hard one from start to finish for a lot of people. Next year, I want to do a lot more with coping mechanisms. And they have a lot to do with, you know, how you are made up as well. You know, you're made up from, when you're born, you're empty. Literally, you're empty. You're made up from whatever is going on around you, whatever anybody else's input is. Even if we cloned you, everything about you, your DNA and everything else, you still would not have the same reaction or perception as you. That is because everything that is in your belief system, everything that makes you up, is inputted from outside. You know, a lot of it is inputted from outside. And what you've got to do then is you have to... sorry, they're just having dances in the background here or something. Great dances, 10 out of 10, girls. You know, but, you know, I'm trying to be serious here. But obviously not. But, yeah, you're made up of... you know, other people's belief systems, basically. You come here, you're born, everybody will tell you, you know, there's things that will tell you about this, you know, that, like, children are like sponges until they're about 7 or 8, okay? So that is because their mind is made up of nothing at that time. All we're worried about when we come here is survival, that's it. So we look for the food, we look for whatever. Everything else goes in, it makes it up. And then after about 7 or 8, you start being full up of all these beliefs. Everything you see, everything you're told, everything you're shown, and so that could be the TV, it could be anything. Everything that happens to you makes up you and your decisions and your reaction now. Okay? So with that in mind, you know, that is how you go into adulthood. So you're conditioned from that age, really. You know, I have a poem that I wrote and a picture that I drew on my cover photo of my private account, and I will put that on here. And it's exactly how I see society. You know, if we actually look at everything as if it was the basics of what we learn, exactly like school or anything else, we would go so far. But because we're taught that this is it, we stop. And if you actually carried on going, you'd probably find out a lot more about yourself, you know, and you'd be a lot more happier. You know, we're a short time a child, and there's a reason that sometimes you should really go back to, you know, questioning what it is that you like, what it is, why do you like those things? You know, why do those things affect you in that way? Because once you start doing that, you get answers about you. You know, so whatever I believe doesn't matter. Whatever you believe is what matters. But make sure that that's your own truth, you know, not everybody else's. You know, and that's all I say. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that for now. And I'll come back to that in January. I'm going to speak a lot more about that. I'm going to be doing a lot more work with meditation, with hypnotherapy, and different things like that, and coping mechanisms, because I think they're very important to learn. You know, what happens to you and what happens to your children and the areas that you bring them up in is extremely important. The people you have around your kids as well is extremely important, not just for their safety, but for how they turn out and how they believe as they get older, you know. But like I said, I'll touch on that later on, you know, in the new year. But I just wanted to let people know that, you know, if you need somebody to talk to, I am here. And all you have to do is message, and I'll be there. Okay, you take care, and I hope everybody has had some lovely family time in all this mayhem, and stay safe.